All right, we are live. Whoa, I can't hear myself. Okay, I think that worked. Super crazy technical difficulties today. So, we are going to be doing a rhetorical analysis Q&A in practice. I see that there are already a bunch of you here. In the meantime, while we wait for a few more people to get in, make sure that you fill out the 2 polls that are in the polls tab, because I really want to kind of gauge where y'all are at. Hello, Jillian. So glad to see you here. Also, if y'all haven't already, I highly recommend you participate in the Fiveable Olympics. It's something that's super cool where you can earn points for studying here on Fiveable in any AP subject. And as a result, you can earn enough points, rank the highest in our leaderboards, and potentially win a cash prize, maybe an Amazon gift card, depending on if you're playing as a team of 4 or as a class, for instance. So it all depends. So that should be pretty exciting. Okay, cool. So let's get started. First, I highly recommend that you go check out Fiveable on all of our different social media. That means our TikTok, which you might see my face on, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. They're like fantastic places to check out memes and also learn about things on our YouTube channel, for instance, where we're uploading certain unit videos. Also, check out all the different streams that Fiveable offers. For instance, in about, that should say 8:30, but in an hour and 30 minutes, you'll see me here for current events. And so that should be always fun, getting kind of a daily dose of objective news about what's going on in our politics, what's going on with COVID-19, what's happening around the world. And we have statistics, English literature, which you probably aren't in if you're in Lang. And then we have all the different fun subjects. Cool. Okay, so pretend like that first row isn't there, but next week we have our final rhetorical analysis review. Then we have a cram session on May 18th, and on the 20th is exam day, so it should be pretty exciting. So as of now, we have 16 days left until the AP exam, and so that should be pretty crazy and pretty fun. So in today's stream, it's going to be pretty simple. The first, we're going to start off with a rubric review, because remember, this year it's just one essay, open note, open book, but I think that's a little useless for AP Lang. And then we'll be doing rhetorical analysis practice. I might do some community feedback, just depending on if people are interested, but that's only if we have time at the end. And we'll do an open Q&A throughout. So it should take about 55 minutes total. So we should ideally be done at 7:58 p.m. Eastern time. All right, and if you have any questions, make sure to put them either in the chat or in the Ask a Question tab. Completely up to you, and I completely, I get you. It does feel like I blink through April. Like, all of these different AP tests I have to take in the next 2 weeks are going to be very exciting as a senior. Cool. That's my filler word today. Let's talk about the rubric. So remember that it is a 6-point rubric now for AP English language for the rhetorical analysis essay. 1 point you earn from a defensible thesis, 4 points you earn from evidence and commentary, and 1 point you earn from sophistication. So remember, for evidence and commentary, what you always have to make sure is that you're talking about the evidence kind of together. You shouldn't be talking about each element. Well, let me clarify. You should be talking about each element individually, but they all need to create some broader purpose. And that's ultimately how you can have really strong body paragraphs, by making sure that each individual rhetorical device kind of contributes to that greater purpose. And what I always tell anyone who asks me for help on AP Lang is that for all of your rhetorical devices, you should be answering 2 questions in your commentary. The first is, why did the author use the device? And the second is, how does that device contribute to their purpose? And by the way, I think Cindy and William here in the chat talk about the award. College Board actually got rid of those AP exam awards. They were called AP Scholar Awards, if I remember correctly, like AP Scholar Distinction, things like that. Kind of because it's incentivized like a very like ultra competitive atmosphere. And also there's a study done that taking more than 4 AP subjects leads to like no additional academic benefit or something like that. There's some place to read that. There's a great study out there that talks about how taking too many AP subjects is actually a bad thing. But also like getting ahead and getting college credit is always really great. So if you do have AP courses that you think you would excel in, it's always really smart. Anyways, back to the rubric. So make sure that on evidence and commentary, you're also linking back to your thesis. And that's what's really, really important, because you can't just talk about these devices and the purpose. That should also be linked back to your kind of greater message that you as the student writer is writing. Also, sophistication is something that's new this year for AP Lang. There's 2 ways you can earn that. The first way is through what I call SOC, or significance of choices for short. According to College Board, it's known as the significance or relevance of rhetorical choices. And that's really important. What I would do is something along the lines of in the introduction, maybe before your thesis statement, you would include some kind of broader context that's not written out in the passage or in the paragraph above the passage. And then constantly in your body paragraphs, you're linking the devices and you're linking those rhetorical devices to that broader context, while also linking it to the author's purpose, if that makes any sense. If it doesn't, ask me for clarification, and I'd be happy to elaborate. On POC, or purpose of complexities, what that basically means is that the author may include certain contradictions or tensions in the text. If you've done the Mahatma Gandhi prompt from last year, you notice that something that you might have seen in that Gandhi prompt was that he was very like polite and professional, but he was also very urgent and like kind of pushing the British to, give India their sovereignty. And so that's an example of complexities or tensions that are kind of located in an AP Lang prompt. So does anyone have any questions? Oh, thanks for correcting me, Imani. I guess they are still doing AP Scholar Awards. Does anyone have any questions about the rubric or any specificities? Could you please elaborate on the sophistication point? Okay, I'd be happy to. Okay, I guess I'll get started. First, I'm actually going to send y'all a link to the sophistication point stream that I did about 2 weeks ago. And I know some of y'all are new here, so I get it. You weren't able to attend or something. And so that one, I spent like a full hour going through the rubric on sophistication and kind of explaining examples and stuff like that. So because that's the case, I'm going to link that stream replay in chat, because I don't have a bunch of time today to go like very, very into depth about sophistication. Okay. I think that might be the link to the slides. Did I do that? Yeah, I did. Here's the replay. There we go. The first link is the slides. The second link is the replay. And you might want to watch me at like 1.25 or 1.5 speed, because I talk a little slow. What's the best way to frame your thesis? That's a great question. What I would say is that you kind of want to figure out what the context is. I know literature this year, they are not giving us they're not giving us a paragraph above the prompt that kind of gives context of the time period, or the even the title of the text. I don't know if it's the same for AP Lang. You might want to ask your teacher about that, if they put those like AP Lang teacher seminar things. And I think we might even have a teacher in the chat today, so they might be able to clarify. But the best way, in my opinion, to frame your thesis is to talk about kind of the context behind it, right? And so when I think off the top of my head of the different prompts, I think of Queen Elizabeth and her speech to the troops at Tilbury, where it was like about the Spanish invasion. I think of the rhetorical analysis prompt about like making fun of people who are environmentalists and anti-environment, or pro-economy, anti-environment, and that satire and the crazy like hyper-partisanship. Okay, is it only an issue on my side? Might be an internet connection problem. One second. Test, test. Hello? Might just be my. All right. Am I better or worse in terms of audio? Ooh, that's a good question. It's the same. Huh. Lovely. Having mic troubles. Sounds a bit better. Okay. Do I need to repeat anything? Like, was anything like cut out where you couldn't understand what I was saying? Partially. Okay. So when I was talking about framing your thesis, I'm going to talk closer to the mic here. Oh, sophistication. Yeah. I'm going to finish talking about framing your thesis. I just think it's important to talk about maybe a historical context or maybe a scientific context or something about that time period. That's usually a good example. In terms of sophistication, I think, what I've heard the sophistication point being called is the fairy point. It's very hard to get, and there's not really a subjective, there's not an objective way, like do this and you get sophistication. It's not like contextualization in AP World or AP US history. Yeah, the unicorn point. And so because of that, what I do know is you really need to satisfy three things. The first thing is that you need to make sure that you don't have like grammatical errors or like issues with your syntax that make your writing not, I was about to say illegible, but not understandable. So the first thing is that you pretty much need to get like a 3 or above on evidence and commentary in order to get the sophistication point. The second thing you need to satisfy is making sure that your devices are not being analyzed individually. Rather, they're being analyzed kind of together when you're talking about a broader purpose or a significance, for instance. So you're talking about the anaphora working with the juxtaposition later on, or the tone shift working with the nostalgic diction, something like that. And by the way, you can pull up grammarly.com, I think, and you can paste things in Grammarly, or I might be wrong on that. Like if there's a separate Grammarly thing, I think you're able to paste into it. You just can't have the Chrome extension. And so when I talk specifically about sophistication, I think there's two ways to tie in your devices into that broader significance, broader context, or broader theme even. And I think those two ways is the first is the purpose or function of complexities or tensions. So that means talking about maybe the contradictions or the weird like tensions in the text, or by talking about the relevance of those rhetorical choices when you're talking about, the time period or the history or something like that. And so remember, for sophistication, it cannot be a phrase. It needs to be a part of your argument. So what I encourage is that it should be in your intro and it should be in your conclusion, but it should also be in at least like one or two of your body paragraphs in order to show College Board you have consistency. Should we mention the devices or strategies in our thesis? I've heard my AP Lang teacher told me to put strategies in. I've heard from other teachers that you shouldn't subject yourself just to those devices. Do what you've been comfortable with. Like do what you've been doing in class. Don't change anything up last minute. That's my opinion. Okay, I'm going to answer these two questions and then we're going to get into practice. I don't want to take it too long here. How should we organize our notes for this exam? Anna, what I would do is, honestly, I wouldn't use notes because I think that would take time away from the outlining and writing process. What I would do, however, is maybe take out a sheet of paper if you're typing your exam, or even if you're writing, take out a separate piece of paper, write your thesis at the top, write the author's purpose, and write their message. And then from there, you can craft your thesis. You can identify devices, write those little quotes, talk about the significance. If you need more information, I'd highly recommend you go to my stream 2 weeks ago about how to outline a rhetorical analysis essay. Or that might have been last week. That was last week, outlining a rhetorical analysis essay. That's what I would do. Brianna, I would try refreshing. Yes, and I will link that live stream on outlining. That was last week. Cool. And that's the outlining stream. Okay, we got more questions here. Do you have a list of rhetorical devices? Anna, if you go to that link above, that has a list of rhetorical devices. And you can also just Google them. There's a good list out there. on like different AP teachers because it would take me forever to go through most of those devices. Should we have some kind of preset template to save time, or would that be limiting? It's up to you. What I would do in the next 16 days is practice writing rhetorical analysis essays and practice like copy pasting them into the College Board demo and time yourself, because that's the way that you can best achieve that. Ida, I'm going to send them to you. Give me 1 second. If you go to this link here and outlining rhetorical analysis essay slides, if you go to kind of like slide maybe 6 or 7, that should have just a list of the rhetorical devices. If you need specific definitions, I would just search them up. Yeah. Okay. So I'm giving y'all a real prompt today. So we're actually going to simulate the AP exam. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use Nearpod. And so if you haven't used Nearpod before, basically you need to go on to nearpod.com/student and enter code TEND. That's our code for Nearpod. And from there, I'm just going to see who's here for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually only going to give you 45 minutes. And then from there, I'm going to give you all some feedback on your essays, maybe do some live grading. I just don't want to go too far. Like I'm gonna end it at 6. I can't speak. This stream will end fairly early. Cool. So go ahead and join the Nearpod. I'm gonna wait for a few more people to jump in here. And I'm gonna, you know what? I changed my mind. I think what I'm gonna do for the purposes of time's sake, because I want to read through some of y'all's responses, and if I give y'all 45 minutes, then it's going to be 7 o'clock, and then y'all have other streams to go to and stuff like that. So I think what I'm going to do instead is all I want y'all to do is write your thesis statement with your, like, you know, write an essay per se, but maybe just do 1 body paragraph or 2 body paragraphs. Just talk, don't do like a full essay. Does that make sense? Do y'all need clarification? Yeah. Like maybe if you normally write 3 body paragraphs, maybe do 1 or 2. So I think I'm only going to give y'all about 35 minutes. And if you want to try writing a full essay in 35 minutes, go for it. Because if you can write it in 35, you can write it in 45. But don't feel pressured to write like a full essay. Yes, I can give you a link. Give me a second here. Copy link. Here we go. That should be the Nearpod link. So let me change that timer. I don't want to get, how do I fix this? Oof. Okay, I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to cut y'all off like 10 minutes early. So the timer at the top right will say 45 minutes, but you will only get 35 minutes. Let me see if I can work this out. What is the prompt? Okay, yes, you will get feedback, but you will only have 35 minutes. Just a note. Okay, so I think I see most of y'all in, so I'm just going to go ahead and start. This is a prompt written by another AP Lang teacher, so it's never been done before, and you shouldn't have ever written it. So good luck. And it should be posted up above. I'm going to switch to student view. And I'm going to mute myself so I'm not a distraction. But if you have any questions, send them in the Ask a Question tab. I will type out a response rather than talking because I want y'all to be in that mindset. Good luck. All right, so we do have 20, I can't do math, 15 minutes left, but I was just thinking I'm only going to have 10 minutes to give y'all feedback. So would it be okay if y'all wrap this up in 10 minutes rather than 15 minutes? So submit when it says 15 minutes left, or is that too much of a stretch? Would you rather have more feedback or more time? Up to you. I just want to see where y'all are at. And if I'm distracting you right now, you can reply later. Okay, great. That's good. Because I'm probably only going to be spending like 30 seconds per anyways, 30 seconds per like essay. So it's going to be a really quick read for me. Um, so yeah, whenever the times, so we have 9 minutes. Can I do math? Yeah, 9 minutes left to wrap up your essay. I'll go quiet again. Good luck. I am not showing names right now, but I think I have 3 or 4 responses in right now. And this is also your 5 minute and 15-second warning. So start wrapping up if you haven't already started wrapping up. And before you all hit submit, because I don't know if you can get it back at the end of your essay, like copy and paste it into a separate Word doc or Google Doc, because if you want more feedback beyond what I have in the next like 15 minutes or so, I can email you back some feedback and, help you all out some more. And I'll send it in the chat here. Great suggestion. Okay, you got about a minute left till you submit, and this is sort of just like College Board, because once our hypothetical timer, which is technically wrong, hits 15, if you don't hit submit, then it doesn't count. And so then you get a 0. And that would be really sad. So we got about 40 seconds, got about 47% participation. Good job. Loving these participation numbers. Okay, 10 seconds. Probably pulling up here. See, I'm getting some emails already. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's probably going to take me about a day or two. Amani, that's completely fine. It's 30 minutes. I didn't expect you to write a whole lot. Okay, cool. Let's just start going through some of these. And I'm probably going to go over about 5 to 10 minutes today, just because I really want to give all of y'all feedback. So let's start with this first one. Oops, I just shared it to y'all. Yeah, same thing. Okay, in her speech, renowned and encouraging leader of England. I'm going to read in my head. Okay, first things first, that gets the thesis point, and that's because it's a really, really good, it answers the prompt. It doesn't just restate it. So you get the thesis point off the bat. Appreciating your audience. Okay, cool. So I'm seeing here that you included a pathos, which is really great, and that reassurance. I would go even more specific to the person who wrote this. Azhar, yeah, go ahead and just email me your essay if you want more feedback off of what I'm giving people now. See this, there's 30 responses, so I'm going to try and go pretty quick. For this, I would just include more commentary. Obviously, maybe it was a time issue, but given that I gave you 30 minutes, I was kind of sort of hoping that you could write evidence and commentary. So what I encourage you to do is to maybe look at past prompts and try and, by that 30-minute mark, you really want a thesis statement and an introduction paragraph with evidence and commentary. And because you only have evidence here, the best I could give you is 2 points, but of course it's a time thing. But I think by this 30-minute time period, you probably want a paragraph with evidence and commentary. And then that extra 15 minutes would probably help you write that second body paragraph or conclusion. I think it's just training you on time. Let's read this next one here. Great job with the context here. Okay. Queen Elizabeth develops her speech by first addressing those who are supporting the nation, then looking to the future and how the UK will rebound. All right. Cool. So here's the thing, right? You really do want to draw a clear line between summary and analysis. And it almost seems here like this sentence right here that I've highlighted, it almost seems more like a summary. Yeah, you can copy, just follow the instructions in the chat here. So I'm just going to keep going. So what I would do is I would say Queen Elizabeth does this to create her message of X, Y, and Z. That's how I would improve this thesis statement here. Because when you say things like explicitly claims or develops her speech by first address, like these are things that she does in her speech, but you want to talk about the impact they had. Oh, sorry about eating dinner. That's okay. Cool. Let's keep looking. 2020 COVID-19. Yes, great job here with analysis. That gets you the thesis point. Good job with evidence. I see some context here. Yeah, great commentary. Ooh, you wrote a lot. Personal anecdote. Good job. Yes. Okay. I think in this instance you get 4 points for evidence and commentary and the thesis point. I'm just trying to figure out if you get sophistication. And so the way I kind of decide that, and once again, it depends on the teacher or the grader, is whether or not you link to significance constantly. And so I'm sort of seeing it. I don't know. 50-50 on as to whether or not you get sophistication. National pride and unity, I guess I'd give it to you because I'm lenient. All right. Great job. I think compels the millions of years to remain united. That's like an explicit message. So you do get the thesis point there. Make sure you're just a small note. Periods and commas go inside quotation marks. Unless you're doing parenthetical citation, which in this instance you aren't. If you're thinking frontline workers, furthers your message. Good job with talking about the audience and the message. Strong as any. Yep, good job with illusions and the past. Okay, I think I would give you 4 points in evidence and commentary, and I would probably give you the sophistication point because you kind of bring in that context, especially in the past. I think that's a good idea there. It's almost perfect. 2/3 of the time available. I wish you were an AP grader. You're funny, Joseph. And I see lots and lots of emails. Once again, I'm actually going to extend it. I'm going to give myself more time. I'll probably get to them by Wednesday evening, just because I have a lot on my plate. Okay. Queen gave an optimistic, reassuring speech filled with positive diction. Yep. Utilizes context to convey a sense of positivity. This is a great thesis statement. Uses I know, I'm sure, establish hope, certainty, comfort, omission of I think and I hope. Ooh. This is some like complexities and tensions here. This is great. I love it. Inclusion of an anecdote, faces contextualization, broader, less. Okay, I'd give you a 1-4-1. Good job. Okay. Yep, that's, in my opinion, I think that's your message there, exemplifying teamwork against the pandemic. Great job. So you get 1 thesis point. Yep, good job with that commentary. Okay, people of England. These dark times, rays of hope. You don't have to put lines or paragraphs, by the way, on the real test, as far as I'm aware. Serves as a pathos. Okay, I would give you the. I think I would give you 1-1-1-4-0. The reason why I don't give you sophistication is because you don't really link. Maybe I'm wrong here. This paragraph kind of talks about, she's an everyday person, us and we. But here you talk about how There is positive attributes demonstrated by the people in the face of hardships. So if you link this first body paragraph with the second body paragraph and maybe bring in some context, maybe bring in the significance of how people need to stay at home. I'm just like thinking off the top of my head, maybe that would get you sophistication, but still, I think a 140 will give you plenty of, I would use points, Carol. I would use quotes, but paraphrasing should be fine. I think it's just helpful for evidence, especially if you do embedding quotes, which by the way, there's another live stream for that. You will definitely get sophistication, or not definitely, what am I saying? It helps you with prose style if you embed your quotes. That contributes towards sophistication. I'm going to get to every single essay, I guarantee you. Don't worry about it. Okay. Good job with the in order to statement. That gets you the thesis point for me, at least. Shows her sincerity. I can't even speak English. Healthcare workers. Good job with the quotes and great job with the periods and commas inside quotes. I'm guessing you ran out of time for commentary. This would technically get a 1-2 just because I don't think you do enough to link this specific challenging time, united and resolute. I don't think you link that back to the thesis. Once again, I think it's a time issue, but just practice. Or y'all can finish your essays with 15 minutes and then send them to me. That's something you can do if you would like. Up to you. Okay. Widely watched broadcast. Okay, I think I would probably give you the thesis point, but I think you need to go a little bit more specific here. To persuade her audience to do what, right? Because, every author wants to persuade their audience. What are they exactly trying to do? I would add that. To persuade her audience to verb X, Y, and Z. Establish credibility. Good job. Nation. Yep. Ooh, good job with context. Yep. Appeals audience sense of patriotism. Maybe I missed this part. Oh, I see reassure citizens as a... Sorry, I didn't read this first part of the thesis statement because I'm guessing y'all are doing kind of like 2-sentence theses. In this case, yes, you would get the thesis point. Sorry about that. Booster authority. Yep. Acknowledges contributions, appeals to the reputation of the people and how they will be remembered, caring. Okay. Join in preventing, reassure her audience. Yeah, I would give you a 141, this person, because I think you do a good enough job in your first and second body paragraphs of kind of linking together that broader purpose. I think if I were writing this, I would add more commentary at the end that links to your thesis about, reassuring citizens and preventing, like mass hysteria and fear while also contributing to that sense of, togetherness. But I don't know. I would still give you 6 points. Okay. Scarred the world, wrote her speech to give thanks to those who are on the front line. Okay, I see lots of purposes here. Doing so, she's fostering a good job. That gets you thesis. She also thanks the people who, and for those of you who have to leave for another stream, I will be uploading the replay tomorrow. And so you will be able to see my shortened quick feedback for the next 10 minutes or so. But once again, emailing me will probably give you a lengthier response. Okay. Just things people are saying. Here is an instance where I think, thanking the people who are staying home, I think she does that quite a few times. So using quotes rather than paraphrasing is probably a little bit more effective. And so I think I would here give you 3 points for evidence and commentary because your evidence kind of is more broad. It's not as specific, but your commentary still links to the thesis statement. Yeah, so I think I would give you a 130. Just because I see here that you do talk about delivering food. I just think you need to do a little bit more to link to the thesis, if that makes any sense. Lovely. That's okay, Sierra. But overall, this is a great conclusion. I love it. She single-handedly improved the mentality of the country as a whole. I think that would almost earn you the sophistication point because you kind of relate throughout the whole thing how she's trying to, build up to this relevance in this context. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh, for this person, make sure that you separate your intro paragraph. Oh, I think it's right here. Queen Elizabeth delivered a speech to think. Okay, thesis point, you get it. Cool. Yeah, you get at least 3 points for evidence and commentary. I don't know where to go with this. That's funny. If you emailed this to me, person, I will get back to you because I don't have a lot of time. Good job. Use of historical illusion, comfort. Okay, these two are repetitive sentences. So at that point, I think I would give you a 1-3-0. 1 point for thesis, 3 points for evidence and commentary, just because your commentary is a little bit repetitive and you're not always linking back to a thesis or a broader purpose. Okay. Reassures. Yep, you get the thesis point. Reassures and unites citizens. Evokes patriotism. Yeah, great job. Good job with evidence and commentary. Yeah, I think I would give you a 1-4-0. I don't think you kind of mentioned the relevance and significance enough to earn you that SOC point. Good job with the thesis. This paragraph, I would do a little bit more of commentary. I think I would give you a 1-3-0. I think your commentary is a little bit partial or insufficient per se, because you just say the hope that the children will endure happiness after this is all done creates that push for the citizens to continue following the protocols. But your thesis is to your whole idea is the thing that you talk about in your thesis is that everything will get better. Oh, okay. Actually, I think I would give you 4 points for evidence, but I would do a little bit more if I were you, in terms of commentary and talking about maybe a broader purpose. How do we avoid being repetitive? Whenever you read back through your paragraphs, just see if you're saying the same idea 2 different ways. Like that last person, whoever it was, I think they said that the tone was comforting and it comforted people, which is the same meaning. Good job with the thesis. Queen E. I wouldn't put that on the exam. Make sure you use Queen Elizabeth, just because it's a little bit more formal. But I think that's pretty funny. Queen E. Made me smile. Good job with the evidence here. These words, she calls the nation to rise up, unite. Yep. Emphasizes your gratitude, makes every citizen feel worthy. Ooh, this is a great part about context. Yeah, I think I would give you a 1-4-1. Great job. Okay, you get the thesis point. I'm loving y'all's writing. It's really great. Like none of these I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't read this, which I was never planning on thinking, but you never know. This is a great essay so far. Inspiring a sense of community, nationalistic perspective. Good job with 3 body paragraphs. I don't know how you managed to do that. I would add a little bit more context here, or commentary here. So I think I would give you a 1-3-0, just because I think in this instance with this anaphora, I don't think you do enough with it. So this is an instance where I think arguably 2 devices, or like less devices is sometimes more. Less is more, because less devices means more commentary, which means more development, and thus you can score higher in evidence and commentary. I think I might actually give you a 1-3-1. I think you do a good job with sophistication and linking to that broader thesis or broader context of the time period, because you talk about due to the severity of COVID-19, you kind of link to the comparison through pathos and the intense time periods of the past. 1-3-1. Good job. I'm just going to monitor for questions. Good job with relate the present to her broadcast 1940. I don't know if that's her main message, but as long as you defend it, you get the thesis point. And yeah, I would give you a 1-3-0 here, because you bring in evidence and you bring in a little commentary, but it's kind of not too developed. Good job with the thesis. Ooh, persuasive yet hopeful. That's what we call complexities and tensions. So already I'm looking for sophistication here. And that's a good way, by the way, to introduce maybe some elements of complexities and or SOC. Rhett, I think I did see your thesis and I thought it was pretty good. I might not have. Let me see. We're almost done. I'm going to wrap this up in 5 minutes. Let's see if I can do this. Good job with evidence. And good job with comment. I think it's a 130, but once again, I'll probably email you back with more stuff, or 140, sorry. Because I don't think you I think you established this hopeful yet persuasive tone, but don't really talk about it later on. Maybe that was a time issue. Good job with the purpose. That gives you thesis. Yep. Nationalistic feeling. Yep. This is funny. UK of GB and Northern Ireland. Good job. I think I would give you a 1.3 or 1.40. Just because I don't think you do that significance of complexity or significance of rhetorical choices or relevance per se. Okay, I think this is unfinished, but reassure, I think that would arguably give you the thesis point. Yep, good job with thesis. Yep, good job with that stuff with analysis and illusions. I think I would give you a 1.4 or 1.30. I'll probably give you more feedback in the email. It's just not too sure for commentary is consistent in terms of linking back to your thesis that everything will be all right. I think you do enough at the end. So 1.40, good job. Ooh, got a few minutes left. So a few rhetorical strategies. Good job with the thesis points. Yep. Great job with evidence and commentary. Probably 1.30. Yeah, 1.30. Okay. Good job with the thesis. I think this is 1.40 from my scanning. Good job on call to action. Good job. Great job, guys. I think you might get sophistication. That's a borderline question. Yep, great job with the thesis. Good job with evidence and commentary. That's a 1.40 for sure. Yep, I think you get the thesis point for reassurance there. Good job with evidence and fantastic job there with everything, kind of the linking, consistent linking back to the thesis. Yeah, I think that's a 1.40. Okay. Yep, good job with thesis. I swear I sound repetitive. I'm just trying to go through. Each of our listeners with an emotional appeal as they can feel the gratitude. Yep. Oh, good job. This is like a good continuation. This is almost kind of inching towards sophistication. I think I would give you a 1.30 just because I think you need more commentary, because this almost feels more like interpretation of the quotes, which is just like, what does it mean rather than what is the impact? How does it link to the broad purpose of or the message? Once again, I'll email you. It does this by using nostalgia. Yep, good job. I would do a little bit more analysis here. So I think it's 1.30 because you kind of just say, she says this quote, she sets off the stage, it caused disruption. That's not really talking about the purpose of her like diction and stuff. Yeah, so 1.30 here. Good job there with the thesis statement. Good job with evidence here. Good commentary. I'd say 1.4, 1.3, something along those lines. Not so much for sophistication. Last two. Great job with the thesis statement. I love this part about this analysis here. She's affected not only the working class, but also the wealthy. Okay, talks about the fear. Okay, I think you get a 1.30, and that's only because I feel like these two quotes here are kind of undeveloped in terms of what's the impact, what's the purpose. Like the moments when the UK has come together to applaud its care and essential workers will be remembered as an. This is, I don't know if that's a quote because you didn't end it, so make sure you put 2 quotation marks. But I don't see a lot of analysis here. Last one. Yep, until Wednesday night. Good job with thesis statement here. Yeah, I would arguably give you the 3 evidence points at least here. Emotional appeal, credibility. Yeah, I think I'd give you a 130. Okay, and that is all, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Follow us on social media. Check out our different streams, and check out the upcoming streams that are coming up. Make sure you email me at brandonw2002@gmail.com if you have any other concerns or questions, if you want me to give you more in-depth feedback. I want to send this. And if there are no further questions, I will see y'all in 19 minutes at the current events live stream. So that will be on app.5will.me. I hope I might be able to see y'all there, or if you are with our bio or gov cram sessions. Thank y'all so much for coming, participating, letting me read your essays, and I hope to read some fun essays for the next 2 days about coronavirus and Queen Elizabeth. Have a great day, y'all. See ya. See ya. Ooh, I can't. Today's crazy. Okay. And broadcast.